So here we are, the scamdemic, the pandemic, COVID, the lockdowns, the social distancing, the Professor Luke O'Neill and his bubble and his guitar, all the farcical behaviour on the mainstream media. We're 6 years, amazingly, we're 6 years from the start of it, with the lockdowns and everything, and the mind control and all the other garbage that went along with it. So the reason why I'm picking this 6 years to do it is, in magic, it usually takes 6 years for a spell to come to completion. But I don't know what that is and why that is, but if someone hexed you, it'll either have happened within 6 years, or it won't have happened, and it may have bounced back to them. If you've done a magical working, if it hasn't manifested in 6 years, it hasn't worked. 6 years seems to be, 6 human years seems to be the time when these things come full circle. It's the perfect timing for another psyop, like a switch turned on. The whole machine of the scamdemic thing is still there, it's still in the background, and it's still in process. So basically it hasn't gone away. It's just went through its 6 year cycle and it's kicking in again. And what we look at the normies, now there definitely has been an awakening, but not enough. And there's lots of people who say things like, well, they're not going to fool me this time. Oh, they will. You know, like the guy in work, you ever work in a job where the management changed something, and they have this character in the lunchroom would go, oh, I'm not putting up with this, no way. They got away with it last time. I'm just going to say no to the boss, it's not going to happen. And then he does it. That's what they're like. Those ones online are going, they're not going to get me this time, they can shove it. They will do it. They will do it. Believe me, it will happen. So don't be disappointed if you see them for what... You should have seen them for what they were already at this point. Now, but I think we should have a review since then. So what have we really learned? They've learned nothing and we've learned everything. I think those of us who found me and I found you during the Rona Ronicles at the start of that, I think we've had a pretty good journey. I think we've learned a lot about ourselves. We've learned a lot about the world, and we've learned that we're a lot more in control of our lives than we thought. I think in my case, it basically validated my concept of philosophical Satanism, in that everything that's ever been done in history has been acquiesced by the public. They've done it. They've never had to put a gun to people's heads, really, ever. They've just done it through threats or through dangers or fears or phobias. So, you know, that's validated my belief about the world, that they'll never strap us down. This is why I don't think they'll abolish cash or anything like that. There'll always be something out there that they will just get the stupid masses, and they are stupid, to go along. Because they tell them they're the smart ones by going along, and they believe they have a superiority complex and they go along. But 6 years on, from what was a magic spell, no matter how you look at it, it was a spiritual battle. That was a magic spell, the whole thing. From the masks to all the religiosity of it, people washing hands and social and all, it was all magic spells. And you have to give them credit, they really got it right this time. And they don't have to worry about the normies saying no, because they've conditioned them into this way of living. The normies can't be truth seekers, they just have to be followers. And they live in a constant state of paralyzing phobia. So what have we learned 6 years on? That the medical industrial complex is just as pernicious and horrible as it was. The big pharma has pushed ahead with all kinds of NMRA treatments. They want everything, nothing's changed. They have complete control of the media, they have complete control of the data, and they're pushing forward. And it's gone to the point, like I said, where they become just more beastly and ghastly. You know, when people are dying in hospitals and unable to see their relatives, they played on the performative narcissism of the doctors and nurses who were dancing and making videos, and they supplied all that video equipment and everything, the drones and everything for them to do, because they knew they would do it. They knew they would do it. And their God complex has only increased. Like I said, they're burning aborted babies inside clinics now to heat them inside hospitals. They're heating them with aborted babies. They've trained the whole generation to, like the Eli in H.G. Wells' The Time Machine, the bell just has to ring and they show up for their treatments. So the Scamdemic 6 years on, what has the general public learned? How to be more compliant. They've learned nothing. The ones who think they've learned things and said they won't go along with this time, the vast majority of them, it's just all bravado, it's just talk, and they will go along with it. That's why they had like Justin Trudeau and the rest of them talking about this is a chance to build back better. Yeah, build back better sheep. That's what that was, and they got it. And for us, the ones who saw through it from the early days, I think we can now look at this almost bemused. Yeah, we're disgusted to see how they treat people. I don't put myself in that position though. But we almost have a bemused look at it now. It's like, oh, well, here we go again. And that's what we've developed is the ability to survive the magical spell has given us survival tools, I think, and that will serve us very well going forward in this world.